So I think in terms of the judging this year, as ever, the judges bring huge passion and commitment and dedication. You know, we very much focus on the twin themes of innovation and integrated thinking. And I think year by year, there are nuances in how those two issues play out. My own sense is that integrated thinking is becoming a really important subject in business. I actually spent today in a different forum, actually in a group of large asset owners, talking about integrated thinking in the sense of investing. So here we are this evening celebrating the Finance for the Future Awards, and integrated thinking is a very important issue in terms of the finance function role, and of course it's a very important issue for the businesses which they represent. So I think in terms of how we spread the word around the importance of innovation and integrated thinking. Innovation has always been at the heart of successful businesses in my view. I think these awards celebrate many good examples of how that is coming to the surface. I think integrated thinking is perhaps more difficult to crack. My own belief is that this year, as in previous years, and perhaps more so this year, we've seen any number of very interesting international entries. And if you look at the list of winners, and indeed those who are highly commended, they absolutely do represent champions of these virtues. And of course what we'd like to be able to do is to celebrate their success, but they also provide case studies for how actually businesses can really reflect integrated thinking in their own businesses. So they do create these models that I think the more we can talk about them, that provides a very useful library of case studies that others can follow. So my own experience of integrated thinking, and as many people know, I've spent quite a lot of time in the last 18 months working on an international project on climate risk. Both of these have very similar issues at their heart, which is to bring climate risk or integrated thinking into the mainstream, to get that into the normal business conversation about how do you successfully take a business forward. And in many ways it's changing the conversation amongst the senior management team and indeed the boardroom. And I think the finance function of the modern era really needs to embrace those concepts. It needs to be able to live integrated thinking, not just integrated reporting, and to actually extol its virtues and to demonstrate to their business leaders why that is a good thing. We're going to see plenty of examples today, this evening, as to why that is. As we look forward, I think it's important that year by year we refresh the thinking, and I think part of that is obviously getting the message out. And I think if you look at the number of international entries, that very much reflects the reputation these awards have internationally. I think that builds on the libraries I said earlier of successful events. Also, the judges bring a lot of expertise and experience to bear, and I think they also help us shape how we're going to distinguish between the various entries. Sometimes that can be quite challenging. There's a lot of passion in the judging room. Of course, that's something to celebrate. But making sure, as we will do, that we reflect on the good things that we've learned and to build on that for future years, I think is important for us.